They'll have to come from inside row number 3. He's got
not a bad starting position.
Right now, it looks like the inside still might be the preferred line. But when you get 20 A-mods all fighting for the same real estate, that might go away pretty quick.
The one guy right now that's got the advantage over everybody, like you mentioned moments ago, Bobby Hogue on the pole position.
Bobby Hogue, he is always one to watch here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Like I said, the winningest driver in Budweiser national history. And he's going to be out here in the 2H on the pole. Everyone's going to be chasing him down. We'll see if Kyle Heckman can make anything happen starting outside row number 2. Kyle Heckman is not a slouch by any stretch of the word.
Give me the top 5 and tell me who's a slouch in that top 5.
There is not
There's
one
not
person
you can't say it, yeah.
that couldn't win an A main event anywhere in the state of California or anywhere in the country that is in this race. Anybody in this race for the 34th running of the Budweiser Nationals can win an A main event at any given moment anywhere in the country.
Absolute fact. Once these guys get a little settled down, we'll take you through the starting lineup for tonight's feature here on night number 1 of the 34th Annual Budweiser Nationals in Bakersfield, California. We are set to go 30 laps, I do believe.
We are scheduled for 30 laps. We have 2 more 30-lap A main events coming at you here tonight. 30 laps for the IMCA modifieds and 30 laps for the late models. So we are right now at 11:17 p.m. Western time.
Already past curfew, but it's the Budweiser Nationals. We got to do it.
We will go as long as we need to go, but I don't think we're going to shorten up these 2. They're marquee events for the evening.
This is the first time since I've been calling this show since 2013 we've actually gone over curfew. The closest we've seen, I remember we stopped the show one night, checkered flag flew at 10:57. Absolutely incredible. Tonight we've had some challenges, but overall it's been a good race. We haven't had any major damage. Nobody's been hurt. Cars are still for the most part intact. It's been a good night. We're going to take you through the starting lineup on the inside of row number 1 out of Salinas, California. Driving the number 2H, the winningest driver in Budweiser Nationals history. That is Bobby Hogue. On the outside of the front row, out of Bakersfield, in the number 11X, Kyle Heckman. Inside row number 2, driving the number 3AC out of Bakersfield, that is Austin Kiefer. And to his outside in the 38, Michael Thang out of Cambo, California. Inside row number 3, driving the 175 out of Bakersfield, just won the Sport Mod featured Boone Super Nationals. Looking for another Budweiser Nationals feature here. That is Ethan Dotson. To his outside, the 11XX from Bakersfield, Rob Sanders. In the number 5L out of Torrance, California, that is Cody Laney. To his outside from Woodland, Washington, in the 58, Devin Reed. On the inside of row number 5, driving the number C9 from Corbett, Oregon, that is Superman Colin Weinbarger. Outside of him in the 44 RX out of Pacifica, California, Shane DeVolder. Row 6, we find the number 3 of Ryan Lauer out of Santa Maria, California, the 198 of Robbie Sawyer. In the 7th row, the 15B, Brad Pounds, and the 48K of Colin Hibden. In the number 38T, that is Dylan Thornton. Outside of him, Cody Schlapp. Then we got the 24 of Ricky Childress Jr., the 22D, Ryan Daves, the 28, Trevor Fitz, the 20, Aaron Rodardi, the 96A, Joe Duvall, and Steven Streeter in the 1X. Green flag, here we go. IMCA Modified feature Budweiser Nationals, night number 1. We are green. Treble in turns 1 and 2. Everybody getting bounced around. Is that the 198 of Sawyer?
That is the 198 of the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer.
My goodness, look like a pinball down there in the middle groove of turns 1 and 2.
There was big-time troubles for the 38T. A thing got crossed up in front of the field. Sawyer wasn't able to slow that car up in time, getting collected with the 38T.
Sawyer made his way off there on the exit of turn 1, and I believe that is the 38T of Thang getting hooked up on the tow truck. Dylan Thornton still out there in that 38T machine.
I won't be surprised if Robbie Sawyer went off and they're going to make some quick changes on the back to tighten that car up. Because
absolutely certain what you say is true, sir.
It was, they're sitting back there waiting, hoping that the track's going to slick off, and, get back to loose. And it did the exact opposite. It held moisture. It's, pretty racy right now. So
there he is, back on the track
almost
already.
positive they tightened it up a little bit.
Well, we'll see.
That would have been pretty quick for a chassis adjustment. I believe he probably just went back to check to make sure all the tires were up.
Yes, sir.
Nothing was significantly bent, and they'll be able to get back and tag the back of the
there's
field.
Some torn up sheet metal on that car, but
Nah,
we're talking about Robbie Sawyer from the back of the pack. You want entertainment? There's some entertainment right there.
Also, some big-time damage for the 11XX of the Sandman, Rob Sanders, outside row number 2. Cosmetic sheet metal damage once again on that 11XX. You could see the problems for the 38 of Thang.
Definitely has some issues there. It looks like the left rear corner is not in good shape. We're going to go green next time by out of turn number 4. Once again, your front row, the 2H of Bobby Hogue and the 11X of the Hitman, Kyle Heckman. They'll bring us to the green flag. 0 laps down, full and complete restart, scheduled for 30.
These guys are getting ready to go nose to tail. 21 cars on the track. Getting ready to start for your Pep Boys IMCA modified green light, green flag, and we're racing.
Heckman had a great run out of turn 2, but had to check up on the binders to stay out of the door of the 2H of Bobby Hogue. Bobby Hogue way up on the top side of the racetrack out of turn 4. He'll lead lap number 1. Austin Kiefer running second.
Austin Kiefer hugging the gutter. Dotson right there with him as they're coming across the back stretch, but Bobby Hogue leading the way in that red deuce.
Kiefer challenging Hogue for the lead into turn number 3.
Kiefer definitely getting that car hooked up, loading up that right rear, using the berm to his advantage on the inside. Slider there from Kyle Heckman trying to get up in front of Bobby Hogue. Doesn't work.
Kiefer is your new leader. Hogue running second. Third spot now being held down by the 11X of Heckman. Then it's Dotson and Laney. Those are your top 5 here on lap number 4.
Yeah, you guys were right. The dust was going to come back on lap 4. You just missed it by 1 race. But it's back. These cars are putting in some laps right now. Track is very racy on the high side and the bottom.
Ethan Dotson watching what Kiefer is doing on the bottom and following suit. They're the only 2 top 5 cars down in the gutter. And both of them running very well down there on the low side of the racetrack.
Well, Ethan Dotson did that in his sport mod, was running that gutter for a while and did very well. So I'm assuming that he's trying to mimic that and use that to his advantage.
Look at the battle for 4th and 5th between Ethan Dotson and Cody Laney. There's a couple of guys that are almost brothers. I mean, they're that close. They're good friends. And these guys get on the racetrack. Always a quality show between those two when they get door to door.
Yeah, both of those two can go out to any track, get in any car, and be a contender.
We saw Austin Kiefer win this on night number 2 a couple of years ago. Right now he's up front on the point, showing the way, doing a great job of driving, holding off Bobby Hogue. But here's what you have to ask yourself. When they get to lap traffic, which is less than a full straightaway ahead of him, how is that going to change the game? Because we know how good Bobby Hogue is in traffic.
Right now, the first on the list is up there running the high side. So right now, the advantage may go to that 3AC of Austin Kiefer as he's right down there running the bottom side of the track. Bobby Hogue the 4th up there on the high side. Once again, coming off of turn number 4. Leading lap number 10 is the 3AC of Austin Kiefer.
I won't be surprised if Bobby Hogue in the next lap or 2, as they get closer to those lap traffic, he starts to hunt that track for a different line, knowing that those guys are taking that high side. He is notorious for being able to shark through these deep waters and find where he needs to be to move forward.
Well, as we speak, it's Austin Kiefer pulling away, making the gap between himself and Hogue bigger with each lap. Now Hogue dives to the bottom, going to fade it up to the top side of turn number 4 as Kiefer is at the back markers. Will it slow him down enough to let Bobby Hogue get to him? Kiefer making easy work of the 58 machine.
Yeah, both of those back markers are all on the high side. Kiefer definitely keeping that car on that bottom berm and using that embankment to his advantage.
Slide job from the 175 of Ethan Dotson, trying to get around the 11X of the hitman Kyle Heckman as they go into turns 3 and 4. It is Hogue, Heckman, and Ethan Dotson as he gets side by side coming down the front straightaway at the stripe.
Heckman and Dotson have a great battle going for the third and fourth position. Banging doors now. Kyle Heckman going to give that spot up to Dotson. Dotson going to go to work on the 2H of Bobby Hogue. Gets by him out of turn number 4. Dotson now moves the number 2 spot, and he's going to go to work trying to put the power on the ground to reel in the number 3 AC.
Ricky Childress in the 24 pulling to the infield, calling it a night for this one. But right now the battle is up front. Ethan Dotson, Bobby Hogue, and Kyle Heckman switching spots like a Chinese fire drill.
Look who's running second right now. Or third, I'm sorry. It's third. Kiefer's your leader. Dotson's running second. Cody Laney was running third as he gives it up to the 11 of Heckman.
Both of them coming up on Steven Streeter, the 1X machine. Getting by him fairly uneventful.
We're over halfway through this one as we're 18 laps down, 12 laps remaining. Now your leader getting into some traffic that is running closer to the bottom in that preferred line. So now we have a raised chassis with that is Kiefer in the number 1 spot in that raised chassis. Yeah. Victory circle in the number 2 spot with Ethan Dotson.
Ryan Lauer was that 3 car that just got put a lap down by Austin Kiefer. Now Ethan Dotson trying to get up there, puts a little slider on a lapped car, and coming up on Ryan Lauer in that 3. Lauer goes to the high side. Ethan Dotson gonna have to change up that line to get back to him. Slides up through, keeps it clean. Your top 2 drivers got a whole lot of clear sailing in front of them.
Well, we're 21 laps down this time by 9 laps to go. Can Dotson reel in the 3 of Kiefer and pull off back-to-back victories here in the modified divisions? He's not out of striking range. He is right there with him and reels him in big time into turn number 3. Dotson going to work the high side, pulls up along the 3AC of Kiefer. Now going to put the pressure to him. Kiefer can hear the Super Nationals champion as he stays up on the top side of the racetrack. He's found something on the top. Here comes Dotson. Dotson had to backpedal out of that on the backstretch. Dives to the bottom of Kiefer to turn number 3. Shows him a ton of color at Kiefer. Drives by him on the high side to hold down the point here on lap number 23.
Slider served via Ethan Dotson, but Kiefer sees it, dives to the bottom, crosses under, and drives away to a 3-car length lead. Here comes Ethan Dotson once again as we got 24 laps in the books.
24 down, 6 laps to go. Masterful job of driving by Kiefer and Ethan Dotson. Dotson going to dive to the bottom like we saw during the 1 and 2. Can Kiefer make it stick? Or will Dotson hold the lead? Oh my, side by side of the stripe. Kiefer now going to dive to the bottom of turn number 1. Float up to the top side of the racetrack. Ethan Dotson's there. Kiefer has to lift. Dotson still with him. Down the backstretch into turn 3. It's Dotson on the high side. Austin Kiefer down low. This is a battle for the top spot. And all the while, Cody Laney's coming quick, fast, and in a hurry, and he's reeling him in the 5L machine.
26 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Side by side down the back straightaway is the battle for the lead. Down on the bottom side is Austin Kiefer. Then you got Ethan Dotson up on the high side. He's going to get a good RPM run this time by. It's going to be the 175 of Ethan Dotson.
Lap traffic just ahead of your leaders. Cody Laney could pull this off if the traffic falls his way. He is right there with these guys. Now battling Kiefer for the number 2 spot while Ethan Dotson holds down the point. Laney's got something on the bottom of the entry at turn number 3. It's right there with Kiefer, but can't quite get by him on the exit of 4.
Austin Kiefer looking at Ethan Dotson's car, trying to get up to him. They got 1 lap marker that they get by. And that's it. It's going to be those 3 battling it out as the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go.
Top 3 cars nose to tail into turn number 3. Dotson and Laney run the top. Kiefer ran the bottom, slid to that upper groove out of turn number 2, down the backstretch into turn number 3. Ethan Dotson trying to hold off Austin Kiefer